In other global news, as the clock struck 12 at midnight for the new year, rockets fired from Gaza, they raced towards central Israel overnight, triggering sirens throughout the central and southern parts of the country. Hamas's armed wing said that the barrage was in response to massacres against civilians in Gaza. This comes a day after Israeli jets intensified attacks on central Gaza. Amid the raging battle, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says that the war would take many more months to end. Well, according to Hamas's health ministry, at least 48 Palestinians were killed in overnight bombing in Gaza City. Another strike killed 20 people sheltering at Al-Aqsa University in the west of Gaza City. On the other hand, the Israeli military said that it will release some reservists who were called up to fight Hamas in Gaza, and this as the country prepares for a prolonged war.
These days, we are also adjusting the plan of forces deployment in Gaza and in the array of reservists. Some of the reservist soldiers will return to their families and their jobs this week. This will allow a significant relief for the economy and will allow them to gather strength ahead of the coming activities this next year. And the fighting will continue. We will need them.
In another incident, Israeli police and emergency services said that a Palestinian stabbed and wounded 2 people near an Israeli settlement in the West Bank on Sunday. That is before being neutralized. The IDF also released footage of troops and dogs from the Orchid's K9 unit operating in the Gaza Strip. The dogs carry out initial scans before soldiers enter an area or building. Far-right Israeli finance minister called for the return of Jewish settlers to the Gaza Strip after the war and said that its Palestinian population should be encouraged to immigrate. Hamas condemned Smotrich's comments as a mockery and a war crime. Meanwhile, the Israeli military said that the fighter jets struck what it said were Hezbollah infrastructure and military structures in southern Lebanon. The Israeli military spokesperson said that Hezbollah does not care about the residents of southern Lebanon and had turned villages in southern Lebanon into a fighting zone. Following Israeli airstrikes, craters are dotted around the villages of Kfar Kila in southern Lebanon. As 2023 drew to a close, Palestinians in Gaza prayed for a ceasefire but had little hope that the new year would be better. According to Hamas's health ministry, Israel's offensive has killed more than 21,800 people, with many more feared dead in the rubble, and pushed nearly all of its 2.3 million people from their homes.